Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are taking a look at the first 2023 car I got, as well as the first video of 2023 for me, Gearsten Marshall. Gearsten is a salt flats racer. He is the first new release of 2023. He was released in case B, I want to say, because there was no case A. They went right to case B to start off the 2023 year. And that is the one he was in. He does appear in the Salt Flats episode of Cars on the Road. I believe that is the third episode, maybe the fourth. I'm pretty sure it is the third, though. And he's a pretty interesting guy. He's a great idea for a car, but in my opinion, Mattel kind of messed him up. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. Let's take a look at him as a diecast first. He is a bright yellow color. He does appear in Cars on the Road. He's not like some kind of fantasy random release like Doug Crankle doesn't appear in any episode. He appears for like a split second just passing by another one of the classic rods like Revo Coast. I do really love the yellow color, and it goes really well with the dark blue, accents, the stripe that kind of goes down the side and down the rear, as well as the numbers. You have the number 04 on the doors of both sides, and then you have the 04 on the roof as well. You have a 04 in a circle on the front hood area, as well as another one on the rear. You also have another logo that says 15. It's red and it's circled in red. I'm not exactly sure what that means. And I'm also not sure what any of the Salt Flats Racer decals mean, because here you have like RDRR. I have no clue what that means, and I don't know what 15 means either. He's got a nice kind of blank expression. He's got a little bit of a grin. Here he is compared to Revo Coast. Now he is the same model as Revo Coast, it appears, but Revo Coast does have a bit of an engine. What's it called? It's another thing I can't exactly recall the name of. He does have this part of the engine sticking out. You can see there, they are the same model. And one thing you notice is that Gearsten does not have the white wheels. Every single other Salt Flats, not even diecast, every single Salt Flats release, including like the Speed Demon. Actually, Speed Demon has black wheels, which is annoying, but actually, that makes sense, because she was floating. She never touched the ground. But like Noriyuki and Saracogs have white wheels. Gearsten is the first Salt Flats release that appears on the ground, at least, to not have the white wheels. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I would have preferred for them all to have had black wheels. But what we saw in the prototype images for the Salt Flats 9-pack, where they had the black wheels with some like really realistic like salt spray kind of on them, that looked really good, but unfortunately they didn't do that. And here he is with Royce Resley, another Salt Flats racer, but they're not exactly too similar, just kind of like that same rounded shape. I mean, Royce is a Beetle. And one car that the first time I noticed Gearsten's kind of expression, I thought about this, but I wasn't able to really like confirm it until I got in real life. And I don't feel exactly the same now that I actually have the diecast, but I do kind of feel the same. So the first time I saw, I believe it was he was on the back of some card art. He has like a blank expression. He doesn't have the teeth. It's kind of like a flat line, no paint. And he does have pretty much the same eyes. You can see a little bit more of the eyeballs, a little bit more brown, a little bit more raised up. He looks exactly to me like Windlifter. Now, Windlifter, of course, the gigantic planes diecast, absolutely nothing like him. But once I started looking at it more, I could see that I was kind of right. The Mattel versions of, what's his name, Windlifter, you can't really see it. But if you compare this expression in the movie to Windlifter, you can kind of see it. The closest I have that I can show you physically is I have a Disney Store Windlifter. Now, keep in mind, I've had this guy for a very long time, so he's pretty beat up. Like, he's got like half of these things missing back here. And he's all dusty. This thing doesn't really attach anymore. This thing is detachable. It's pretty cool. I used to play with this all the time. And how do I reattach? Okay, let's just leave it off now. It's not that important. Have whatever this is above his eyelids. So when you compare the expressions, you can kind of see a similarity. You can see it more so, I believe, on the I guess not the prototype, like the artwork for him. The artwork as in like the diecast artwork that you got on the back of the card. Where he has the flat expression, he's not grinning, he's just kind of straight-faced. With like the eyes that have really no emotion. I felt like it looked really close to Windlifter. And like, it doesn't look as good on the actual diecast nowadays. Or nowadays being now that I have the diecast. I still think that if you compare like a Windlifter to the card art or the diecast artwork for Gearsten, it is very similar. And yeah, I just can't attach this anymore. I'll have to figure that out after the video. Actually, no, I got it backwards. That's the problem. Alright, it's attached. I did say that I felt Mattel didn't execute him perfectly, and the expression is one reason. I mean, as he said, he didn't really have any emotion. You can see, like, Royce has some eye variants. I mean, his smile is fine, but it's the eyes for sure. And I think Revo was the most well done. I absolutely love Revo's expression. I love Revo. My main gripe with this, of course, the wheels is another interesting thing. I do like black wheels better, but I would have at this point just preferred for some consistency. My main issue is this green part, because you have this giant green part. This isn't gray. Actually, let me make sure it's not gray. I'm pretty sure this is green, yeah. Or it's a very, very grayish green behind his rear wheels. That does not appear at all in the show. It does not appear at all on his artwork. You can't even see it on his diecast artwork. This is like completely made up by Mattel. Now, it would have made sense if this was like black to symbolize like, oh, there's nothing there. But I feel like the green makes it feel like, oh, there is something there. This isn't like shadows or not being able to see anything. This is just the design. I think it looks terrible. It is on both sides, which is unfortunate. I guess it's better than having it on one side. It would have been even more annoying if it was only on one. Here's the bottom, made in the 39th week of 2022. Pretty sure that's what that means. That's pretty much it for Gearsten. As I said, a great idea for a car model that, in my opinion, they just didn't execute it really well, but it's still passable, and it's still a nice card to have on the checklist. And that is pretty much it for today's video. Gearsten Marshall. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.